Can you get rid of the sound? Yeah, the sound is weird. It should be quieter or more subtle at least. And then it's yelling at me.
So my first impression was that it was a really cool concept and I was excited to try it out.
It looks fanciful. It feels like a fashion piece.
It's really cool. I like it.
This is a super cool technology and super creative.
I like how futuristic it is. I think it's very cool not having to have an actual keyboard. I think it might be a little ahead of its time, but it's definitely something cool where you're touching not a keyboard and still receiving all the input that you're putting in. It's a lot more portable, so people who like to have a keyboard but don't want to carry around an actual keyboard or a laptop, this is much smaller, something you can toss in your bag and bring with you. So I think it's a lot more versatile than having a normal keyboard.
It's so small. So like other keyboards, even like the folding keyboards, they're still like pretty big, and this is tiny. I feel like this is great for traveling because it's so small instead of like bringing like a whole or like connected to a phone if you don't have like an actual computer with you. So like accessibility when traveling, that would be great. But personally, when I'm traveling, it's hard to carry a computer all the time, especially like if I have to write a paper over spring break but I don't want to bring my laptop across the world. It'd be kind of interesting to kind of just like have your phone and then like this little device and be able to type like on a computer. That's really cool.
I like to have it because of the thought of having something new or different and the idea behind it. I think the fact that you can actually project your keyboard on any flat surface is a very interesting thing.
But not all the words pick up, because I think if I go too fast, it doesn't register it. But if you type slow, it's not bad.
If you were just typing like English or like something that's just basically on 26 alphabets, that would be not too bothering. But like if I'm like just typing those into Chinese, I would feel like that's sometimes a little bit slow. I would have to like just go back to my phone to just look through like what exactly the Chinese I want, because like based on the same lexicons, you will still have like different Chinese based on the same sound of a word.
And then just restricts you to having like one hand on the keyboard, so you can't carry out like multiple functions just the way you do your normal keyboard.
I think it's not very reliable. There was a lot of times where it wasn't exactly getting what I wanted. I think there should be a setting that I can like, turn up the brightness of the projection, because in certain lightings it might be a little harder to see the projection.
I think once they can develop it a little bit more so that you can type a little faster, maybe make it clearer to see, and I think it could definitely grow and people would be interested.
Because of the lack of accuracy that you get with like your regular keyboard, and if I am to spend my money on $20, that it should at least give me a certain level of accuracy and usage. But I don't really get that from this. I kind of have the idea that I'm playing, not really using the technology that I got interested in buying. It's an extension of the normal keyboards we have. They're not changing how we type, they're not changing how the keys are placed. So I feel like it's literally the same thing. The only thing is that new generations will kind of start thinking of ways that computers shouldn't have like keyboards attached to them.
The concept is really cool. I don't have a lot of use for it now. I think it would be just like a cool gimmick to have around, but definitely in the future when I have like a set office or something, definitely. I think the future is promising. I think that it could be something that can gain steam, especially with a younger demographic, and it'd be really exciting to see it take off. Just I think it's a little ahead of its time right now.
I think it has a lot of potential because it's so easy to carry around, and I've personally gotten to like the issue where I don't want to bring such a heavy laptop around with me. That being said, I kind of have an old laptop. I think the newer laptops are smaller and lighter and easier to carry, so that might be the competition.
I can see the potential of this product in the future because it allows you to get out of all those actual electrical device and how this would impact our life. Like for example, you will probably see in a lot of movies that people are just using those projector and you can just type in whatever you want without an actual devices. So I think this is actually one aspect of what we can see in the future.
The current design of the keyboard that we're using is not really designed for the usability. It was due to some technology constraints back to a while ago. So I know there are many more interactions emerging in nowadays, and probably people start to changing even though we don't use mouse. We still need to input textual information to the system. The keyboard is a carrier for this type of information transformation between human to computer. And we can use our voice for sure, and some of they use touchpad. They can just use pen, and the computer recognize what you are writing. I'm not even sure if the keyboard that we're currently using will still exist in the future. We may still have a keyboard, but it may not look like what it looks like now. At least give some visibility for us to notice. Several people have a meeting together, and know we probably have a shared screen, have the information, and we are all working on. And people carry their computer whenever they want to meet in different meeting rooms. But if this type of things can project like several keyboards at the same time, and people don't need to carry the computer if they have a meeting from this building to another building, this office to another one, they can just sit them together and work on the same thing that they shared on the screen through the keyboard that projected on the table. That could be something cool. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Raspberry Pi. It's a mini computer, a mini CPU with Linux operating systems in it. So basically whatever you do on your computer, you can put the program into a Raspberry Pi and let it run it forever. The Raspberry Pi now have the Bluetooth dongle and the Wi-Fi dongle, so it connects to internet. It can be a small server. You can make any like mini program or interesting things with Raspberry Pi. But one of the things that it's not very easy to work with Raspberry Pi is that you need to connect it with a physical keyboard and a physical monitor. So when I say this projection keyboard, I think it would be really cool if the Raspberry Pi can have this projection dongle or projection widget with it, which projects a keyboard as well as a monitor, which would be very useful for the starter learners to use Raspberry Pi.